Hey, hi, hope all is well. Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about online versus offline interviews for the ISB PGP. Firstly, ISB conducts offline interviews typically for cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, and Hyderabad, and for all candidates who are staying in cities like Kolkata, Chennai, they end up having a virtual interview. Even if you are sitting in Delhi and if you want to have a virtual interview, you can pick that option. They give you a preference for your interview location and the type of interview, online versus offline, and preference of the city, preference one, preference two. And the school is very receptive to how you are comfortable to give the interview. But a lot of mentees end up asking me that, Sarthak, if I give a virtual interview because I'm staying outside the country and I am staying in a city, let's say from where I can't travel to one of the four cities, be it Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, then is there any disadvantage of giving an of an online interview? See, my point is, given my experience, I would, and I interviewed with ISB in 2017 in the Hyderabad campus. And the experience was memorable for sure, but I believe an online interview has a little disadvantage, which is if you are speaking in front of the interviewers on a Zoom screen, you will not be able to gauge their non-verbal cues, if they are really liking your answers or not, and you will not be able to course correct in time if you feel that the answers are not exciting enough for them. In an offline interview, it's very much possible because you see if the person is smiling, if the person is trying to pressurize you or stress test you or make a poker face in front of you, if they're folding their hands or if they're gesticulating too much or if they are just calm and composed. So that really helps you to tweak your answers in terms of length as well as content in an offline interview. So I always encourage my mentees to give offline interviews if possible for them, if they can travel the distance, if they are not living in any of these four cities. That being said, there is no stated or explicit disadvantage or advantage of any of the interview types. You can pick an online interview also, you can pick an offline interview also, that's totally fine. But if it's possible for you to travel the distance and attend the interview, be it by staying for a couple of days in these cities and then coming back to your hometown, please make that effort. That offline setting gives you a lot of clues in between the conversation just to make sure that your answers are in the right direction. And I have had mentees who have recounted their experiences in front of me. That's Sarthak. I was sitting in the interview room, and in my initial 5 minutes, I saw that the interviewers were kind of waiting for my answers to get over. That's when I realized that my answers are a little too long, and all my subsequent answers, I tried to make sure that I'm cutting them short a little, and that's when the conversation really kept flowing. Otherwise, it was becoming a monologue. Now, this kind of observation and tweaking is very difficult to do in a Zoom environment, is what I'm trying to say. So I hope this helps you, and I'll see you very soon. Just one thing before I go, in terms of sequence of interviews on when the interviews happen for which cities, it's random. Typically starts with Bangalore, goes to Delhi, goes to Mumbai, Hyderabad, but it's random. Any of the four can happen. Online interviews typically every year are reserved for the end. So if let's say round one interviews happen from mid-October to third week of November, so online interviews for people who have picked online will happen towards the end. For the four cities, it happens first, and interviews are always taken by a couple of alums, two alumni typically in a panel. And thank you so much.